Steps Forward says is ahead for Sacramento County now that a whole host of agencies have approved a plan to tackle homelessness differently over the next 3 years. This on the heels of a very disturbing report showing that the ranks of the unhoused in the area have grown by 67% since the last point-in-time count in 2019. Lisa Bates, the executive director of Sacramento Steps Forward, or SSF, with me now live to talk about this new direction. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you.
There are about 100 providers of homeless services working to get people housed and help with health care and other things in the city of Sacramento and across Sacramento County. But up until this point, getting truly plugged in with many of them may have required a homeless person to put in multiple applications, make multiple office visits or multiple phone calls. And we're, by the very nature of this whole thing, talking about a population that may not have phones or transportation. And this new plan really kind of reorders all of that.
Yes, so just recently the city of Sacramento County and our COC have adopted 5 major strategies for addressing homelessness at a system level. And so this is the first time that we've had a collective agreement on a set of strategies that, when implemented well and supported by really good investments that are focused, will hopefully change the trajectory of our homeless crisis situation here in Sacramento. So it really sets a roadmap and a measurable roadmap for us and decision makers in terms of where we need to focus over the next few years so that the next time we have a point-in-time count, we won't see such dire information.
Now, your nonprofit has long been working to coordinate homeless services across the region. With this new direction, we're talking about the mayor of Sacramento being on board, county leadership, the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency, the Sacramento Continuum of Care. Sounds kind of simple and obvious that all of these entities should have been working hand in hand to solve this issue all along, but it really has been anything but simple to get this kind of coordination, right?
Well, yes, in terms of a final document that has, really focused 5 strategies by which we can build upon. So everybody's been doing tremendous amount of work over the last few years. Lots of investments are being made to solve the problem. What this is doing is really helping us get focused, get efficient, and really coordinate across our system more effectively. And so we're real excited about the fact that these strategies were adopted and hope to be able to, start to put the actions in place and report out on how well we're doing against this plan over the next few years. So it's a really great roadmap for our community as well as our decision makers. And it's going to help us know where to pinpoint the resources and when they're going to be needed and what types of interventions to help reduce homelessness.
And eventually there's going to be an online kind of public facing dashboard that people can check in and see kind of how some of these metrics are being hit, right?
Yes, so this is a plan that has measurable outcomes, which we actually need to report out to the community and to our funders, including the state of California. So Sacramento Steps Forward is committed to helping support the community and providing those reports on a regular basis. It's good learning for us too, so we know if we need to course correct or change or where we're doing well.
As I understand it, this coalition has put up about $14 million for this effort, but up until now, our area may have been missing out on funding from the state or funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, because we didn't have a regional unified plan in place?
Well, definitely the federal and state funders will support and continue to provide more resources when they see a more collaborative and coordinated response to homelessness. The $14 million that you refer to is just one of the 5 strategies within the plan, which is really standing up a coordinated access system so that people who are experiencing homelessness have a better way to access the services that you mentioned earlier. So we're really excited about being able to launch that particular program that has been fully supported by the city and the county in the coming months. And so that is a key actionable item out of the 5 strategies within our plan. But it also identifies a lot more in terms of how we address sheltering, housing resources that we need to stand up. And we've actually quantified what it's going to take in order to be able to move our system to a better place. And so that's some of the information that will be shared out on a regular basis, is how well are we addressing those gaps of what we need to do to be able to move the system forward.
Alrighty. Now, when you have to do more, you need more people to do more work. So there is an emphasis on hiring more navigators, right? That's a term people hear a lot in the city of Sacramento. In essence, those are some of the outreach folks who find those who are without shelter where they are and try to get them services. And you're also looking at having some of those extra people hired be people with lived experience with homelessness. Why is that so critical?
Well, the people that are experiencing homelessness are the ones that are probably best informed as to what we need to do to fix the services in the system. So it's critically important that we have voices of those that are actually experiencing homelessness on the ground. And the COC has made tremendous efforts to bring in more persons with lived experience on our boards, our committees, to be involved in the process of, what recommendations should we be making in terms of fixing the situation on the ground. I also want to note that the plan, to your point, talks about our need to invest in more community capacity to be able to address homelessness. So in addition to more navigators on the street, we are recognizing that our many providers need more help in building capacity to serve those who are experiencing homelessness.
Lisa, we are out of time, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. We just want to get in quickly that there is a special emphasis on addressing mental health with this new plan. We'll be following up with you about that. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.